Officially live. This is crazy. I haven't been live before. Like all these years that I've been on YouTube and talking about Apple products and working on them too. I've never gone live before. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting and I'm really excited. So if you're tuning in, welcome. I am your friendly neighborhood Henry. I've been a Apple enthusiast since I can remember, since I was born, really. I feel like I was born into this world just for Apple products, and that's what I've been. As you can see from my shirt, Henry. That is my jam. That's my thing. I don't really remember the first Apple product that I've ever seen in person, but the one that I would say would be the closest thing that I can like distinctively remember is the iMac G4, which was the clearback iMac that had like all the different colors on it, which is what the new iMacs are kind of representing right now. That's what I remember of being my inspiration for design and marketing for Apple products, was just how beautiful that looked, and it was just so inspiring. Um, this is actually technically my second stream, only because I had opened this stream before because I wanted to make sure that everything was working, and it actually wasn't. So that was fun. Having to start over, posting my first stream just for it to backfire, but it's live now. That's kind of the important thing. And yeah, so I'm gonna pull up I'm on a sheet with some of my closest friends, and we have a March event spreadsheet of what we think is going to be released in the keynote. Now, unless my friends text me and go, "Hey, can you share my stuff?" I'm going to keep theirs private. But this is what I think is going to be released at the keynote, which it'll go live at 1 p.m. Typically, it's about 15, 20 minutes before the actual keynote's live that you'll be able to actually join in. So I'm just on Apple's website refreshing it. Now, I'm not able to stream the exact video onto my screen, so I do have it pulled up on a different screen that y'all won't be able to see. So I recommend having a second screen with you while you're watching this. But really what this is for, this video is commentary and also thoughts, first impressions on everything that comes in the keynote. I'm sorry I haven't been around that much. I've been working on a couple of different projects on the side that's been taking up most of my time, but also some personal stuff as well. But I'm planning on sometime either this month or next month really starting to publish the things that I've been working on. So stay tuned because it's going to be a lot of fun. So, anyway, my predictions for this March event I have written down. I don't know if I'm actually going to be right, but you never know. And there were some last minute leaks that came out yesterday. For those who haven't heard, if this is your first time hearing any of this news, so the rumors of what was or is possibly coming out is three things that I already knew or kind of expected to come out in this keynote, and then two other things that I wasn't expecting. So the three things that I was already expecting and that I have written down actually, the first is the iPhone SE Generation 3. What that's supposed to bring is the same design as the previous iPhone SE Gen 2. Excuse me. I'm actually going to write this down in the comment section. So the first thing is iPhone SE Gen 3. Supposedly, it's going to have 5G, and a little bit of a faster processor with the same chip that comes in the iPhone 13. But that's pretty much it on it. Now, the fact that we're going to be getting an iPhone for $399 with 5G is a really big deal, mainly because I don't know, and I don't know if you know, that there's any phones on the market right now that are less than uh, $500 that have 5G. So this could be a really really big launch, or let me rephrase that. This could be a launch that's expected to not like could be like, oh yeah, we're gonna release this, but we really don't know how it's gonna go. And then it just completely just skyrockets and is doing so well and everybody wants to buy it and yada yada yada. The second thing that I have on this list is the iPad Air Generation 5. So with the iPad Air 5, it's really supposed to be pretty much just a minor spec bump from the previous iPad Air, which, when you think of it, isn't a whole lot. It's just going to have a slightly faster chip in it, and then it's rumored to possibly have center stage. I don't see why they wouldn't, because literally the entire iPad lineup has center stage, and the iPad Air is the only iPad that doesn't. And for them to have it in the entry level iPad for $329 and not for a $599 iPad, come on now, it's gonna have center stage, or maybe it has something better than center stage to kind of pivot something with the iPad. We really don't know. What we did hear is that it's going to come in purple, which, come on. I'm surprised that wasn't leaked before, or that wasn't rumored before, because purple's been like Apple's new favorite color. We had it on the new iMac. We've had it on the iPad mini. We've had it with the iPhone, which surprisingly, and I was looking on Apple's website with the purple iPhone. I didn't. Ooh. If you try to go to the iPhone section, oh, no, it's working now. Yeah, I'm surprised the iPhone 13 doesn't come with purple. So I'm wondering if Apple's going to update the iPhone 13 with purple and green, which is the leak that came out, is that it's specifically coming in green. So that's pretty cool. Still not loaded. So that's the next thing. iPhone 13 spring colors. The next thing that I have on my list here, so we have the iPad Air SE3 and new iPhone colors. There's not really going to be anything else different about the new iPhones other than the color. So what I thought was going to come out, which I'm still going to write down, because I think that the leak that came out, which I'll talk about in a second, I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. Now, on my list, I was supposed to have 5 things, but I have a wild card on what I think might be released. I think that Apple's going to release a 10th gen iPad. I think, yeah, they're on 10th gen. Like, the 9th gen iPad has been the most popular iPad for quite a while. And when I was working in a retail environment, it was like what everybody was asking for. And people were returning really expensive iPads just to get the entry level. So it just kind of goes to show how important that iPad is to people. Not that it's the best iPad out there or the most powerful, it's just been the most important. Um, so I think that there's going to be an M2 MacBook Pro and an M2 Mac Mini. I don't think that this event is going to have the M2 iPad, I mean, M2 MacBook Air released, only because the M2 MacBook Air is supposed to have a redesign change that's supposed to look like really, really cool. And I don't think that Apple's going to um, release that at this event because I don't know if it's ready yet. Let's see. Nope, still not loaded. So here's what came out with the excuse me. Here is what got leaked yesterday. So iPhone SE3, iPad Air 5, iPhone 13 in purple. So the two things that they kind of go hand in hand. The first is a content creator Mac, which is supposed to be called like iMac Studio or Mac Studio, which it is a Mac Mini that looks like there's two or three stacked on top of each other with a flush design, so there's not like crevices in between each one. And this iMac is supposedly supposed to be a Mac that's in between the M1 Mac Mini and the Mac Pro with the Intel chips and replaceable graphics cards and stuff like that. That it's supposed to be a iteration of that. So I'm really interested to see if Apple actually releases that. And the second thing is a cinema display. So kind of like Apple's Thunderbolt display that was a couple years ago, which I still want one, believe it or not. It's supposed to be a cinema display that is pretty much available for consumers. So something that isn't super expensive, but still kind of pricey. Now, if this display ends up being more than $1,500, I don't want to buy that. Now, if it was sent to me, I would totally take it and use it to its full potential. And I think that it would be an amazing piece of equipment, especially for what I do on a daily basis. But it's not something that I think will do well in the market if it's over $1,500. Now, I'm not saying that it is going to be $1,500, mainly because Apple's known for releasing equipment that can be rather expensive. And with expensive equipment, you have a high price tag. So I really don't think that it is going to be like I don't even know what Apple's going to price it at. And the ports on the back of the display with the images that I saw online, it doesn't have any ports, which I'm worried about. And they didn't show the ports on the new Mac Mini either. So the question is, are the ports in the like charging cable or are they non-existent? And that's what I'm very interested to know is where are the ports? Now I haven't had the chance to publish my review because I'm still working on it for two laptops that I have. I have a M1 MacBook Pro with a touch bar, and then I have a M1 Pro 16-inch MacBook Pro that I got. I think I got it about 2 months ago. I got it in January, so it wasn't when it came out. I wanted to see what the reviews looked like for the 16-inch because of how expensive it was. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to switch over to M1 completely or if I wanted something Intel and then transition into M1 Apple Silicon entirely. And so far, switching over, I haven't regretted it at all. The only issue that I see, or more correctly. The only thing I see of ever being an issue with my choice is if and when I decide to get back into um, not nec- not necessarily 3D animation, but getting back into 3D logo design and 3D modeling. Because that's something that I like to do kind of as a side project. It's not something that I put 100% into because I have a I have a very interesting um what should I call it? How do I put this? Like I have a very interesting uh I have a very interesting passion. Um I'm passionate about Apple products and I'm passionate about consumer electronics. And I'm also passionate about data and data analytics and crunching down numbers and financing. And I'm also passionate about operations and inventory. But when it comes to what I got my degree in, really the only thing that I've been using my degree for has been freelance projects for friends and work, and then my YouTube channel, which is what this is, which I do. I have I have several actually. Um, I'm currently working on a new logo animation for my new logo, which I really like this new design that I went with. It's a more modern and more professional logo. I have the same name, I Henried, and I went with content creator and operations specialist because that's what I love to do. I love talking about Apple products, and I love operations, and that is my passion. All right, it is officially 12:47, which means we have woo woo. Apple is officially live online. This looks fun. I really wish I could have this on my YouTube live, but makes me sad. Yeah, for a first live video, it's not exactly what I was picturing or hoping for, but what I really wanted to utilize this first live stream in was getting to know the software a little bit, but also to share my thoughts and feelings about what gets announced at the keynote when it's happening and first impressions. Um, but I'm hoping that later on I'm able to have something a little bit more interactive. Yeah, because I don't think I can. Let's see. Yeah, I have an idea.